Hello everyone. Prep work for the stem cell transplant is complete. This past Tuesday I went to Henry Ford and signed various consent forms. Dr. Jana had a meeting with the PA to discuss before, during, and after expectations, things I need to do for the stem cell transplant. Kind of a little bit of redundancy, but there's a lot of material, so they keep repeating it so that you can retain some things. I mean, they say if you hit you with it all at once, you might retain 1 out of 10 things. If they keep repeating it, you gain more and more and know what you need to do, so it's not a surprise. Also, I had the bone marrow biopsy, which was done differently than the one that I had at St. Mary's. It was done by hand bore with a hollow syringe where I had to stay still for like up to a minute and deal with this in my back pelvic bone. And they didn't get enough bone on the first one, so they had to go into a second procedure. So I had to stay still again for another minute, but we got it done. I don't have the results from that next update. I should have that, and I'll share that with you. Okay, on to the blood work from Monday. Everything still looks good. I'll highlight just the results from that. Number 1 is going to be the hemoglobin, and that stayed at 7.9, same as last week, which is excellent. Number 2 is the creatinine, again giving an idea of what's going on with the kidneys. That holds steady at 1.53. We'll keep an eye on that. And I'll throw out a total protein because that's going to be important down the road as well. And that's at 11.1. It creeped up a bit from where it was staying in the low 10s. So we'll watch that as it gives us an indirect indication of what's going on with the M protein. I titled this video, "The Cancer Makes Comeback," essentially a counter move. Here's why. The data will be up here. I told you last week that I added that free light chain assay and electrophoresis every other week to my Monday blood work. Let's go back a little bit and give some history. I had my last triple therapy on June the 26th. The day before at Henry Ford, I had an electrophoresis free light chain assay done, which showed my M protein IgG level was at 4.9, kind of like that's going to be our baseline. 2 weeks later, July 11th, we had that repeated, also at Henry Ford. That had creeped up a little bit to 5.1. Not so bad. This past Monday, we had this done at St. Mary's. Now that number moved up to 5.9. Do we want to see if that might be an outlier value between St. Mary's results and Henry Ford Hospital's results? I don't think so. That's enough that the oncology team decided, hey, let's add the one pharmaceutical agent we can, and that's the dexamethazone. So I'm taking my second dose of that today. That's going to be 40 milligrams oral, 20 on one day, 20 on the next day. The dexamethasone will hopefully buffer any further increase in that value. Hopefully it does the trick. We're 4 weeks out now from that triple therapy. We've got 4 more weeks to go before the stem cell transplant, before the on the 26th when I get that high dose chemotherapy, because that's going to whack that cancer. We just don't want that cancer to creep up to where it starts doing damage to the kidneys, which we're going to watch. Hopefully we'll stay ahead of it now with the dexamethasone. It can slow that increase in that M protein, which is correlating obviously with the cancer, as soon as you released the chemotherapy, that cancer started proliferating. So hopefully we can hang on for another 4 weeks. But this cancer, as I told you before, is a tough one. It needs to be under constant attack, or else it will go on the offensive. That's what I have today. Stay tuned. Cheers. Please wait a minute before I sign off. Questions or comments below, always love them, and I'll answer them. Ciao.